Back in 2009, I moved back to New Zealand with my brother, and 2 days later I was going to school, something I still have not forgiven my mum for. Just kidding, mum, I love you very much. After relocating back to New Zealand, more specifically the Wellington region, I would encounter TVs 2, 3 and 4 for the first time in a very, very long time. I remember Saturday mornings with TV2 playing music from both Kiwi and international artists. It was actually my first encounter with Justin Bieber when they played a smash hit one time. At the time I didn't think it was cool, but now it's one of my most played songs. And also watching What Now every Sunday morning, just wishing I could be a contestant so I could win all the prizes and get slimed on. About a year after moving back, I would have my first experience with the music channel C4, hosted by the one and only Drew Nemia. Watching him talk about new music while there was also the graphic at the bottom of the screen showing the most requested and popular songs of the time, like Dane Rumble's classics like Cruel and Don't Know What to Do, and then his collab with Jay Williams for Take Me Higher, and also Judd Wigmore was on there, all the classic Kiwi songs. There was also the Aaron Simpson show, and I remember pretty much all the lads that I knew had a bit of a crush on him. Here's a fun fact, I was actually kind of on the Aaron Simpson show. When I was near 10, they came to my school because we were hosting a bit of a gala. So then they came and did a bit of a walk around and showed all the stalls and such. And while the reporter was walking, I can't remember his name, but I'll see if I can find him. As he was walking, me and my mate Dos were walking behind him. We just thought we were the coolest people ever because we were technically on TV. It's no big deal. Anyways, all this to say that C4 had a very profound effect on my early New Zealand life, opening my ears and eyes up to new music and personalities from New Zealand and on New Zealand television. Long story short, I want to actually talk about what happened with the C4 and all the hard-working people that made the couple hours after school and the early hours of the morning very memorable. Officially launching on the 3rd of October 2003, C4 would be the official rebrand of TV4 after that had ceased operation. Originally, it was supposed to be named 4 Music. However, the managing director at the time had stated they settled on C4 was due to its bold simplicity. They would kick off the new rebrand with a countdown of the 100 music videos of all time, starting with one of the greatest New Zealand acts, the D4, with their classic Exit to the City. The video eventually taking the number 1 spot on that list was Nirvana's Smelt Like Teen Spirit. For the first year of operation, New Zealand On Air would actually pay $500,000 towards C4 so they could stream music for about 58 hours a week.
Now that's a lot.
Reaching nearly 3/4 of the population at that time. There was actually also a deal with MTV at the time so they could broadcast some of their shows like Pimp My Ride and Catfish. In mid-2008 they would actually start to focus less on music altogether and just basically push all their focus towards a more youth-orientated network. Roughly 3 years after this, C42, which was the second channel, would basically become New Zealand's version of VH1, meaning they would just constantly stream music videos. However, around this time, the parent company MediaWorks would actually rebrand again, changing C4 to just be simply 4. The last broadcast on C4 would actually be another 100 music videos of all time, and if you thought Nirvana would win again,
Surprise, bitch, think again.
it was actually instead Michael Jackson's Thriller taking the crown this time. C4 would instead show a variety of music videos at a low cost, with most of the entertainment shows moving to 4. C4 would only be accessible to Freeview viewers. Don't know why they didn't just say free viewers, it just makes so much more sense. Until 2012, when C4 would eventually return to Sky. After this, MediaWorks would effectively say no to broadcasting C4 as they would only choose 4 regional simulcasts, meaning there would be no more space for C4 on the air. This would all be for naught, however, as about a year and a half later in 2014, C4 would cease operations altogether.
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend.
With the final show that was broadcasted on C42, in a quite serendipitous moment, would be the D4's Exit to the City. They would kick off the new rebrand with a countdown of the 100 music videos of all time, starting with one of the greatest New Zealand acts, the D4 with their classic Exit to the City. MediaWorks in their infinite wisdom would actually replace C4 with the Edge TV, so they can play the same 5 to 10 songs that they still do to this day. Now to conclude this video, I'm going to do a bit of reminiscing. I can still remember watching an episode of Drew and Shannon after school, Dane Rumble usually having the most requested songs pretty much every single day. The reason I have this moment burned into my brain is because I remember a very specific episode that Drew was hosting and he gyrated on screen. Like, I still remember the camera was above him. Drew would actually often quite do these silly dances towards the end of the show, which I respect. Just think of SpongeBob bringing it around town and you've pretty much got the exact same dance that Drew Nemia did. Reminiscing like this does make me happy to have all those memories, but also a little sad that I'll never be able to go back to them and experience it. A great channel showcasing some great New Zealand talent when everything seemed kind of great. But that's about all from me, team. Stay golden.